Hello and welcome to another Real Escapers podcast. I am Callum. I'm here with Ben and John, and Silas couldn't be here because he has a job. No, I'm just joking. We all have jobs, but
Me too.
he's currently working. We are here to discuss the May behind the scenes.
Indeed we are. And for the behind the scenes May, we got quite a month ahead of us. As you can see, Callum is quite excited. We have a bunch of updates. Nothing this month is really small. A bunch of really cool things. Of course, the only small thing would be the Solomon's General Store update, but that's just bound to happen every month. So, yeah. We got, first off, we got the RuneScape Road Trip, which is an event that's going on through the entire month of May. So, yay! Some stuff for us. Bonus experience, fun events, prizes, a whole bunch of tasks you gotta do. Ben, do you want to kind of run down the events that we have coming up for this month?
Well, not only have you got a series of daily tasks, which include random stuff like complete a treasure trail, do a Slayer assignment, complete a dungeoneering floor, every weekend they've got sort of themed events. For example, 3rd and 4th of May this weekend, we've got the Slayer and Combat weekend, which includes double Slayer points, 50% base Slayer experience. They've got better drop table for some of the monsters, bonus charms, and double amounts of all rare drops, and the Rink of Wealth will double in effectiveness, which sounds pretty interesting. Thoughts on that, anyone? Sounds good. You're going to attend that?
The thing is, I'm like, sweet, double Slayer, because I want 120 Slayer. I'm going to get my comp cape in, I don't know, maybe a week and a half, I think, 2 weeks, because I'm 117 dungeoneering. Basically going to be spending my time doing dungeoneering for the rest of any waking second on RS. But, it's going to be so crowded. The experience is going to be double, but the population of Slayer is going to be 5 to 10 times more people doing it. So
it's not even double Slayer experience, it's 50% increase.
Still, any bonus is, it draws people in regardless of how much experience it is.
Plus, if you have bonus experience, then it will essentially be 3 times the Slayer experience, so that'll be interesting.
True.
Yeah. Then 10th and 11th of May, we've got double experience and reputation at Artisan's Workshop, which will be interesting, because nobody really trains there.
I think that's going to be crowded as crap, because that place is...
a lot of the ores are going to go up in price prior to
this. Yeah, that place is good experience, a very, very AFK, and, if you're getting double experience for what you're putting in, that's a bonus experience weekend for smithing right there. These players are not going to pass that up.
Yeah. You've got increased node spawns and reward points at Runespan, double gold relics, and better chance of getting the rare drops from the Pyramid Plunder, such as the Black Ibis and Scepters. Enriched Divination nodes will spawn every 10 minutes, and they will also last twice as long. Fishing spots stay in place twice as long, which is going to be awesome for Rocktails. That is going to be the most AFK-able thing in the game. Divination Wisps, I've already talked about that. Mining nodes and trees will replenish twice as quickly, which is good. Not sure if that's as good as the rest, but... And the last one is the 50% base Big Chin Chomper experience, which will also be really good for the people who want to train their hunter. And next weekend, we'll have on the 17th and 18th of May, +1 Castle Wars gold ticket per game, double points from Sealing Creation, which is going to be really awesome for a lot of the skills, because essentially you'll be able to get up to 200k bonus experience an hour.
Really awesome.
In those things, if you're doing the fast SC where you don't do any combat or anything. So I'm definitely going to be camping there. Double points from Pest Control and Conquest, double zeal from Soul Wars, which is awesome. I'm hoping maybe it'll rejuvenate those mini games, even just for a short while.
I think
those up and around again.
The mini games, I think in general, Castle Wars and Soul Wars are going to be rejuvenated because of the return of PvP experience. Because that happened. Because the main reason why Soul Wars died is because people would train their combat while getting zeal to put experience into their combat. But as soon as player versus player experience was gone, there was no point in doing it. Why would you train your combat skills? Because you could just train it straight up faster than training your combat skills while getting extra combat experience. So I think that's going to be up a lot more in general.
Cool. Buses in Dominion Tower, you get double rewards, and all ports voyages will return 30% extra trade goods or resources until the end of the month. You also get more reward points and produce points at a Livid Farm.
That's
So
a big
that's
one.
cool.
If you're going for your comp cape, you're going to want to go to Livid Farm this weekend to get
Oh yeah.
as much Livid done as you can.
And then from the 26th of May until the end of the month, you'll have double Dungeoneering tokens, including sinkholes and also 50% base sinkholes experience. Now this is going to be very important because I'm assuming that the Dungeoneering update, which we will discuss later, is going to be introduced around this time, so people will be wanting to train their Dungeoneering and getting the double Dungeoneering tokens to unlock the new rewards that will be available at the time.
Woo! Be exciting stuff.
Anyway, that's a very long list of things to talk about, but that is
It was.
essentially the May road trip. Poorly timed, right in the middle of
Yeah.
exam time for a lot of people. Good one, Jamflex.
Well, I mean, they got to keep the game active during a time where they know it's most likely to be dead. So they're like, "Hey, free stoofs," and we're like, "Yeah, who needs an education? I got experience."
So in terms of the rewards from the actual May road trip, other than these weekends that are held every weekend, what do you think of the rewards? You get the experience lamp every single day, or every time you complete a task, and also you get the hiker's outfit and the monkey, and the new fire making animation, which is the party hat burning animation.
Well, it looks like we lost Callum, but that's okay. We'll wait for him to come back in. You guys and your Australian internet. I'm probably gonna lose you here in like a minute. So I think we got some good stuff going with this event. I mean, it depends on how much experience, if it's worth it, the task. And wow, you're just like in my entire screen now. This is gonna be really weird to edit. Because it's gonna have like me in like this bottom corner while you're just giant Ben. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be participating in it as much as I would. If I had my comp cape already, I'd probably just do it because like why the heck not? But I feel like getting sidetracked from Dungeoneering for me personally is gonna not be beneficial, considering I could probably gain more experience doing Dungeoneering than doing this event, and I'm kind of like XP mode right now.
I think that the experience lamps scale quite well to your level. I know I'm high level and I get about 15 to 20k per lamp, which is pretty good. That adds up over, I think it's 20 tasks. That's like about 400k free experience. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
But yeah, if you're doing Dungeoneering and you're 100 plus, I don't know if that'll be worth it. It's probably faster to just do Dungeoneering anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much summing up the RuneScape road trip.
And we got Callum back. Welcome back, Callum. We missed you.
Hello.
Oh man, and now your video is a little bit off. Alrighty, great, perfect. You and your internet. Oh, and your creepy face. Oh, yeah, just make faces. It's okay. You don't need to talk.
What is RuneScape?
I know,
I have
right?
no idea.
I'm just here for looks. I make the funny face. Okay, so coming up next, we have the Ancient Combat, which is going to be interesting. I don't know how this is going to work or like what it's going to be like because there's 15 new abilities coming in, and that's a lot. That's a lot of new things that come into the game. I know they're distributed between the 3 skills, so that means there's going to be 5 for each one. And we did kind of get a look into it. They said, first up, there are 3 ultimate combat abilities voted by you in the Power to the Player polls in February. These are tentacle-themed abilities for Magic.
No, that excites Callum a bit.
I know. Look at gosh. The moment he heard tentacle theme, he's like, "That's it." He already bought his gold membership for next year. And for melee range, they require level 75 in their respective skills. These abilities will hurt you, but they will deal more damage to the opponent. Now, Callum, I know you liked this, so let's get your thoughts on this matter.
Well, if you all remember, they took away the damage you got from overloads when you drank them, and I was a little bit upset because I liked that. You got hurt from the very powerful potion, and I like that aspect of the game is when you're a higher level and you take damage, I think you should be putting out more strength or attack. I like that. I think that's good.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm interested in how much more damage and how much damage it does to you. So that's going to be really nice. And, burp there. People with level 91 Constitution have a new ability, which I'm really excited that they're introducing this, and I'm interested in how it's going to work. So it goes, they're also throwing in the Ice Asylum, a group healing ability, and it maps out, they says, It says it maps down a healing zone. So I assume kind of like Sunshine. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something like Sunshine. Yeah. And any players who are in that will regenerate health. And I'm kind of interested in how effective it is. Simply because if you guys know Heal-Voking, done with the Catfight King and with Virago, if you use the Barricade ability for those like 5 seconds you have, you can infinitely heal people if you're on Lunars. So I'm kind of interested in how effective this healing is going to be in comparison to Heal-Voking. Especially like at the KK2, you can use Resonance and then you heal up to full. Like you just throwing around heals mean nothing. So if it's really awesome, I think that's cool, but I'm also at the same time trying to think where this would be useful. Like what boss are you kind of gathered around, which all of you would need healing. Like I can see maybe last floor Virago if like one person throws it up or something, but I'm trying to think of if you guys can think of an area where a group healing effect would be really needed.
I feel like it would really help out lower levels, especially if they're new to bossing. That would be great if you could have a more experienced person with this healing ability come along and just make the experience safer for the rest of their team. But like you said, it's not going to be all that crucial, I feel, in a lot of the bosses, especially because a lot of the time people will be running around individually and it's not safe to group up at places like Catfight King, otherwise you get one hit by all the balls. So I guess we'll have to see, really.
Yeah, I think it
provides sustain, which is really good.
Yeah, I think it would just be a nice to have. I think if you're going bossing with friends or whatever, and now and then if you don't need to use your ultimate ability, you would just use this one, and you know, if just nice to have now and then ability to use. I don't know, we'll use it that much, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an option, and I think it's going to be helpful in certain circumstances if the player sees it fit. I'm just interested because it is level 91 Constitution requirement. That is, yeah. I think that's the highest level requirement for an ability that we have. So I'm kind of interested, like how effective it's actually going to be. And if it is really effective, then hot damn, there's going to be someone that's going to be like a determined or a all-the-time healer on the team. Yeah. One thing that I thought that RuneScape really needs is they really need a legitimate support class in the game. Like right now, the only thing you have is like healing others. That's the only kind of support you can do in the game is you heal your teammates with Barricade or Resonance. That's about it. If there was a legitimate spreading of abilities, like if they had this, but instead of healing everyone in the circle, it gave everyone a like 5% damage increase, I think that would be cool. Because then it makes people kind of gather to a spot for a certain thing. And most bosses like Virago and stuff, you don't want to be grouped up. But if you take the risk of getting inside this grouped up area, you know, it's more damage. I think the healing's cool, but I would have loved to see it be more of a DPS area of effect, personally. I mean, I know I'm more so the PVM guy of this group with all the bosses and stuff. So, I mean, that's just me talking about it from my perspective and what I would like to see.
I also like the fact that they're actually adding merit to training Constitution, because at the moment you really don't get a whole lot from it. You know, most of your hit points comes from your armors, and only a little bit comes from your actual Constitution level. So people may actually want to train this Constitution skill if they want to get this ability, if the ability is good enough, which I think is good.
That is definitely adding a little bit more to that, which I think is awesome. All right, so coming up next, we have, for those of you who have completed Fate of the Gods, have you guys? I'm assuming you all have.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Okay, and I know Callum has as well already. Yes. So there's going to be 4 new combat familiars, the Blood, Shadow, Ice, and Smoke Nihil. I think that's how you say it. Each one of them combat level 160. They are summonable at level 87, so just below Unicorn. And by gathering ingredients from the creatures. So I guess they're going to be having like some drop tables. If you go back and you kill them, you need to have them for specific summoning. And they say they have a unique passive combat buff that packs quite the punch. And I'm interested in how powerful that actually is. Because what is, like, I'm interested if it's going to be a invisible level buff, if it's going to be a certain percentage damage for something. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what each one represents and what they're going to bring to the table. Do you guys have any thoughts on what these can do?
I'm assuming that their actual, the familiar ability will be relevant to their type. For example, the blood ability may be sort of healing, and for an amount of time, the damage it deals, a percentage will be healed back to you. Maybe ice will freeze them or something, or give them stuns occasionally. not entirely sure, but they actually sound like they're actually going to be quite useful and have decent combat stats, which is quite nice because, summoning at this point in time isn't really that useful in actual combat situations. It's much more helpful to have, I don't know, even the legendary Solomon's pets, because they just pick up drops for you, especially at places like Slayer. That's really helpful, but
Oh yeah, it
I don't
definitely
think
adds up there.
it'll replace familiars like Pakiaks at Virago and Kalphite King and stuff. I just think they're far too useful, and they give far more life points per familiar and stuff.
Well, you don't. I'm not sure about the Virago thing. Like, depending on what they do, if they give like a passive like damage boost or something great, like I've gone to Virago in like an 8-man, and like a guy for like a joke brought like a honey badger, like a familiar that legitimately doesn't do anything at all, and he was able to get through the kill perfectly fine and actually did 2 runs with us, and he had a honey badger with him, so. I'm thinking, like, if these are useful, if they're, like, a damage percentage, because there's, like, that DPS roll for Virago. And if you're a DPS roll, you probably won't take a lot of damage. And if bringing that familiar increases the speed of the kill or the rate that you can, do things to be more efficient, I can see people bringing these familiars rather than, like, a pack yak. Like, I feel like the DPS would be more important than more food, especially if you know what you're doing. Like, when I was doing Virago, like, I don't know, like 5 hours a week, I never got a seismic for 2 months. I did like 5 hours, like 5-6 hours every week of Virago, or more depending on the weekend. Never got a seismic. I was quite sad, but yeah, like I would always go through, and when I got really good, I was only eating like 3 to 5 food per kill, depending on like how good my team was. I mean, if they know what to do, it works out well, especially if you're not stupid as well. That helps. But, if I had a way to increase my DPS and I could just bring, like 10, 12 food with me and that was enough for the run, I mean, I would definitely bring that familiar over a pack yak. So, yay, seriousness.
Yay!
In addition, they're also reworking the drop tables for the Nihil and the Moose Pars, which I think is definitely necessary. They're quite difficult to fight. They're great combat experience, but their drops really aren't that good at all. So they said they're going to drop now Dragon Haste, Dragon Throwing Knives, or Dragon Magic Wards, which sound pretty interesting. I don't know if they'll be that valuable overall, because at the end of the day they will only be level 60 equipment. But still, it's nice. They'll be a bit more valuable at least. They also mentioned that they're going to be unlockable as Slayer tasks, which will hopefully give you good Slayer experience and just make them overall more viable to kill, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty.
Cool.
Well, that covers that. A big portion, lots of new combat updates. I'm really looking forward to that. Alrighty, now, Ninja Dungeoneering, Callum Zach.
Ninja Dungeoneering. Okay, so basically, they are bringing out some new resource dungeons, a new Slayer task, the ability to pay tokens to skip floors, which is really amazing, a new chaotic weapon, gem bag upgrade, new pets themed after Dungeoneering creatures, more skill scrolls, an item collector in the same vein as the Bone Crusher, and dozens of nips.
I'm looking forward to the dozens of nips, I gotta tell you. That's probably going to be the update of the year, Jagex. Please.
I hope it's expensive to get.
Oh man, if I have to pay a lot of Dungeoneering tokens to see dozens of nips, I might pay out for that.
I've been wanting a chaotic nip ever since the release of Dungeoneering.
The chaotic nips. Oh man. Level 70 nips. I can't wait for it.
Anyway, tons of nips, tucks, and improvements for your day-to-day living into Daemonheim. Daemonheim. Phew. That's what it says in the thing. But basically got all these ideas from forums, Reddit, and other social networking sites, which is really great because a lot of people do think and complain about Jagex not reading anything we actually have to say, but they do. You see quite a bit through Reddit and other sites, not just the forums. So that's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite reward from this? I've got to ask.
Yeah. My favorite reward would have to be the ability to skip floors. I think that's really awesome for high level dungeoneers. Would you call them dungeoneers? I don't know.
Dungeoneeries.
Because if you're trying to smash out that 120, I think that's going to be an awesome thing to be able to not have to do those low-level floors.
That's the biggest pain in the ass, I have to say. It's like when I'm trying to well, great, now I need to go do my floors, and it's just like,
I say they'll cost a fair few tokens to skip them, but if you're over 100 dungeoneering, I don't think it's really gonna hurt you too much.
I'm thinking like what? Like it'd be like 2,000 maybe a floor.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll depend on the floor.
That might be it. Well, I don't know, because you're not getting anything out of it. Like if you pay for a higher floor and a lower floor, you're still ticking one floor off. I mean, is there really a difference between is there an advantage to ticking one off rather than the other?
No, that's a valid point.
So I mean, I don't know. That's just me. I don't see it, because if they charged me more to tick off and a warped, I'd be like, well, I could have got more experience there. Don't know why you're hurting me for ticking
I don't know
that
why
off.
anyone would want to tick off a warped anyway, because best experience in game. Who needs it?
It's great.
Okay, John, your favorite.
Phew.
I am. Well, I have to say I don't really have a favorite. I have to say I'm just interested in all of them. Cause there's nothing that I want, but I'm curious about everything. Like the more skill scrolls, like what are we gonna get? Like what are the skill scrolls gonna be? What for, and how useful are they? Like is it gonna be as useful as the herb one where you just get random herbs? Yeah, and or the blah blah. And then we also have the item collector in the same vein as the bone crusher. And now my thought is it's gonna be like a gem grinder. And you can choose which level of gems you can have crushed for crafting experience, because most of the things have I want to keep this and I want to destroy this, and gems are one of those things that pop up everywhere. So I thought to myself, well, you could tick off I don't want the sapphire, the emerald, and the ruby. I just want diamond and dragonstone, something like that. So that's my thought on that. And we also have the new dungeoneering weapon, which interested as that as well. Oh, and of course the Slayer.
I call it's going to be either level 80 or 85, and the reason I think maybe 85 is because they've released the Death Lotus darts, which is a level 85 weapon for range, but they have not got any equivalents for melee or magic yet. So I think it'd be good to fill that slot somehow. And also, it's the same sort of way of getting it, I guess. For example, the Death Lotus darts don't actually cost anything. You get it over time and by working for it, by doing your voyages. And if you could, earn your chaotic level 85 weapon, then that would be cool as well.
I think it's going to be a chaotic offhand mage weapon, personally.
Ooh, I think it's going to be something
Good
call.
pointless.
Because you think what, Callum?
I think it's going to be something pointless, like a chaotic dagger or mace that no one's going to use.
Chaotic mace.
But I think that's pretty much what it'll be.
Yeah,
I'm pretty much anyway. I'm gonna call it. If it happens to be that, I called it. So you're owing me 100 mil.
I owe you 100 mil.
You don't get on or anything, but either way, we owe him 100 mil.
If it's an item, you owe me 100 mil.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested. I think it's a mage offhand because the melee has offhand options. The range has offhand options. It could be a two-handed range weapon. But I think mage is the one that has the biggest hit because it only has the staff. It doesn't have a main hand, offhand, or even anything else with it. So I think an offhand mage item is the most reasonable
or
because
even
they're
just a main hand, just a chaotic wand or something.
Yeah.
There's no level 80 sort of. Actually, there's Virtus.
Yeah, no, there's also I'm thinking the wand of treachery and stuff. They have
level
random
70.
thing. Yeah, I'm thinking they're.
They just brought out the abyssal wand as well, though. So maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it won't be mage dual wielding.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to what it's going to be, but the Slayer task. Do you think they're going to make Frost the Slayer task?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
I hope so.
I reckon. Well, yeah.
I'm thinking you get a scroll Kuradel, here's my ticket, give me Frosts, and then the prices just dramatically fall from now on.
It'd be nice for people trying to get 99 prayer or 120.
Yeah. Or 120, yes. That's a lot of money. I paid, it's 13 mil experience for 99 to get to 104 mil. I can't even imagine, just throwing money at the GE every day like that. Is there anything else that's really interesting you guys for the delve into Demonheim?
Well, the new pets are pretty boring. I mean, have any of you got a pet from Dungeoneering?
I do not have a sneaker peeper.
Sneaker paper, yeah.
I do not have one. I can honestly say I do not have one of those.
Yeah,
I kind of love the pets, but I would never ever buy one.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it for that one.
Yeah!
What is next? What is next?
The Ashdale real repeatable boss and Choose Your Path, Ben. Do you want to go ahead and say that? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just sort of saying Ashdale with a weird sort of accent or pronunciation. I was not going to add anything to do.
Pronunciation? Is that how you say it? Did you say pronunciation? Because I say pronunciation.
You also say herbs and stuff, so
yeah. It's just interesting. I find new ways you guys say things that I don't, and I enjoy it.
Hey,
that sounds really evil and sadistic.
moving on with our lives.
Words.
I shall steal your Australian accent.
Okay, I guess I'll talk about the Ashdale.
God damn it, John. Sorry, Ben,
Alright.
go.
No, alright, okay.
Ben's like, I'm done.
Would you like to take over, John? Would you like
No.
to take over?
No.
Because every time I speak, it sounds
No.
like you want to take over.
Okay, you know what? Just go over the update.
Alright. And this is how
Ben,
John
we should
left.
both leave. I'm gonna leave as well, so Ben can do it. I'm just gonna leave. Hang on. Go, Ben.
All right, are we done?
You miss it, Callum left as well. Alright.
Oh fuck.
Okay, so basically, the new quest that was released this month, the Shadow over Ashdale, there was a cool Kraken boss that had giant tentacles, which I'm sure Callum also loved as well. But basically, it's going to be now repeatable every week, and it's going to have quote-unquote juicy bonuses for defeating it. And I know you said it's probably going to be the Black
Pearls, yeah.
Which is good. It gives you a nice scaling chunk of bonus experience in whatever skill you choose. And I think that's pretty cool, I guess. Would you guys do that every week?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with like new skills coming out. The Black Pearls, when you got them from the quest, I thought it was kind of weird that they stacked and they were bonus experience. So I thought to myself that there was going to be a way to do this again. Because that just didn't make sense, to give me a stackable XP item. Like, if I'm just going to use it, and that's it, like, why would you do that? Like, that.
Yeah.
Like, I was curious, so I'm like, oh, how can I get more of these? That was legitimately my first thought, so I can understand. And if I can, like, stockpile on these, and the new Inventor skill comes out, when we're allowed to use bonus experience, I'm just going to crack open these things, like, each time.
It's amazing. Well, it's like a large prismatic star.
Yeah, it's a large prismatic
like
star for each one.
30, 40k bonus XP or something like that, yeah?
Yeah, and if I
it's like
can...
a skill.
And doing
Yeah,
that every
it's-
week, I should have a large chunk of those by the time Inventor comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Do you reckon you only get one, or do you reckon you still get three again?
I'm assuming 1 or 2. I don't think we're going to get the full 3 from the quest.
It would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen.
It'd be nice, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing. I feel like that'd be
Yeah.
OP. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
ever since Warbands come out, I have to question the experience they're going to hand us anymore. Because that's 300k a day. A day.
Please don't talk about warbands. It just makes me upset. It makes me really upset, okay?
I don't know, I'm
That's
sorry.
not too bad. Goddamn Herb. Spent so much money.
Hey, I did too. I got my herb the old school way, paying for it
so
the
I-
whole
I
way.
got to
Same
96. I got to 96, and then warbands came out. I was like, you're kidding me.
They've also decided to add an Ashdale lodestone, which I think is pretty interesting. Because at
I
this
love
point in
Ashdale.
time, Ashdale I sort of almost see as just this random, almost instanced area, because you only really go there for the purpose of the quest, and maybe by adding a lodestone there, they can actually generate some traffic there, which, I don't know,
Possibly.
could be
I
interesting.
hang out in Ashdale all the time. I was doing some
Really?
fetching. I think they should put a bank there. I actually just like being there. You know, there's
It's
like
actually a
friendly
really nice
people.
place.
There's
Graphically,
a
it's
ship.
beautiful. Yeah.
No, but no, I don't want a lodestone because I like going in the ship because you look like a boss. You're at the front of the ship and like you're just looking out. You're like, yeah, I saved these people. I am awesome. And then like everyone greets you and dancing. It's all nice. And... But I don't think they should.
Your experience seems way different than the experience I have when I was at Ashdale.
I think you should treat it like your own house. I don't think because I don't want there to be too many people. I kind of like it. That's just me and maybe a couple of friends. I don't want
Do you guys think?
my Ashdale?
Did you guys watch the RuneFest live stream, or at least like a highlight section of it?
Yeah.
For RuneFest. Yeah. Wait, I said that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I thought I said the RuneScape live stream. My bad.
Did you watch the RuneFest live stream for RuneFest?
Shut up.
Watch the RuneFest live stream for Minecraft.
But yeah, I think Ashdale is where that Church of You is gonna go.
Ooh. I don't. No. They won't. They can't do that. Destroy my Ashdale. Keep Ashdale as it is. I'll protest. Right?
No, they're if it's an instant city and you already have a quest. You already have a quest where you save the people, and it's an instance area that you saved. The Church of You is going in Ashdale.
No, they're not, because you saved every other town in RuneScape. Why can't they just leave Ashdale? Just leave the giant.
Leave Ashdale alone.
Take your goddamn ideas and keep them to yourself. I will take down. I'll somehow, if you put a forum post or something, I don't know. I'll complain a lot. I'll say capital letters, no support.
It'll be in the next episode of Forum Facepalms, like Ben said. I can see that now. Callum's like, ooh, check out this. Ooh, the Church of You is gonna be in Ashdale, and then it'll be like. You're not even gonna try.
The funny thing is, you guys are laughing at this, but I'm dead serious. Like, leave Ashdale alone. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful people. You need to get to know them, but they
So a giant, beautiful church, in recognition of your heroic ways, would not do the city well?
Yeah, well, I think, they're already very grateful of me. I don't think I need to rub in their face by building a giant church. It's like, hey, I saved your town.
You're not going to force the church upon them. The idea is they build a church worshipping you.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's not defeats the purpose if you build your own church, saying, follow me, I am God now.
There's only so much
That's my goal in life now. I'm going to become a billionaire, build a church in recognition to me.
There's no space, though, because if I put up the church, I might be taking over someone's house. I don't be moving out because of
I'm
it.
sure they can manage.
I think they'll be fine.
Might take over a school. You don't know this. You don't have to learn, man.
There's no more schooling in Ashdale.
Oh my gosh.
Because of you, Zapzang.
Zapzang.
Alright, so
Anyway.
lastly in this little section, we've got there's a plane over someone's head. Okay, we've got the Choose Your Path, which is an extension of the path system for players who have just joined the game. This will direct them to the best low-level stuff in the game, according to their mood, whether that's adventuring, skilling, or hitting things with swords.
Like I was saying before we recorded this, I just love that term, the best low-level stuff. I mean, it makes sense, and I appreciate that they're going to be directing low-level players more, but I just think that was just some funny terminology. Especially
it is
like...
most oxymoronic.
It is. What's the best, worst thing you got?
It's a good step, though. It's a good step forward.
It's like going to a bar. It's like going to a bar and be like, do you have Keystone on tap? I'm not sure if you guys have Keystone in Australia. It's like...
Yeah, we've mentioned it in past, that sort of there's a gap for the very entry level of the game that sort of needs to be addressed, I think. People often get confused early level. I mean, RuneScape's a massive game, and hopefully this will help. I don't know.
Well, it's a nice little idea. I mean, I've tried to introduce this game to a lot of my friends, and it just hasn't worked. The only people that still play it, that I've reintroduced the game, they'll be like, they had stopped playing, so they knew RuneScape from the beginning, but new players have not a clue. So I think this is really, for the future of RuneScape, this is something they really need to focus on, which is nice because it's on Ashdale, and but they need a lot more work on this if they want this to grow, because
Definitely.
at the moment it's not looking very good.
I find a lot of new players, they say that they're like, what do I do, or what do I do now? And I think by giving these three really broad options, whether you want to kill things, skill, or go exploring things, I reckon that's a really good way of going about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Elves
Alright.
Divination.
Which was supposed to come out last month, but it didn't. And
I'm
like they
super
did,
excited. Yeah.
I'm so excited for the thing that should be out right now. No.
I've actually
They're
delayed
doing...
99 divination because I've been waiting for this update.
You have been. I do remember that. You were like, oh man, I can't wait for this update, then I'm going to go train.
No.
Basically, this update was supposed to come out last month, and they're doing the whole, sorry, we made a boo-boo thing again, like they did with the bank update, where it was supposed to come out, and Callum's, I don't know what he's doing. Oh my gosh. They're doing the whole thing they did with the bank update, where they were supposed to come out with that in February, I think, and then they're just like, never mind, it's going to come out in April, but we're giving you some other stuff. So they're doing the same thing, and it says, drop one of the new divination-oriented divine locations, and you'll get double divination experience, energy, and portents. Also, divine implings will be far more frequent for the bonus period. So, Callum, did you just do what I think you did?
Yes.
Yeah, it looked like you were doing something not so nice over there.
It was excitement. It was excitement. It was.
I can
Are
tell
we
you
legally
were...
obliged to like blur that section out there?
I'm gonna have to edit that out. I'm sorry, Callum.
No, keep it in. Keep it in. It was
Okay.
natural, it was
The kid, very.
The fact that you said something ruined it, alright? Should have just left it.
So that's going to be that update. I think we talked about it more last month, so if you guys are interested in hearing more in-depth conversation about that, be sure to check out our April BTS, and you'll be able to hear more about our thoughts on that subject. And we got the Solomon's General Store Treasure Hunter, as always. But that pretty much sums up the major updates of the month. Do you guys have anything you want to go back on, talk about, any thoughts on the game or anything like that you want to talk about before we head off?
Pretty much just the chaotic nips. I'm ready.
Oh god, I'm so ready.
I want like a Nips familiar that follows you around. Just like a couple of Nips. Just kind
That
of,
might be one of the new Dungeoneering pets that you can buy.
yeah. Maybe you should write a post about it and try and get Jagex to put into the game. Maybe that's something
That's going to end up
seriously
on forum
consider.
face palms. I can confirm that's going to end up on forum face palms.
Dear Jagex, please make Nips a familiar.
You
want
promised
to
it in the
nip-
BTS, and I see no nips.
What would its special attack be though?
No.
Like if
No,
it was a
stop
was
it.
a-
No.
Stop it here.
No.
Cut it.
Oh, there's going to be just a whole new floor of Dungeoneering after Warped. It's just going to be nipply. And then you just go down there and it's like, oh, man. Like,
Bouncy.
man, how come each of your floors take like 40 minutes?
Somebody end this podcast before it gets worse.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for this podcast. I hope you had a good time, because we had a good time making it, and we'll be looking forward to the next BTS and giving you guys some more information, our thoughts, and some updates on what's going to come out. We had a great time doing it, and the much not requested face cams are up here. So... the most non-requested thing for face cams was now put in, so there you go, guys. And yeah, that's about it. And thanks again for joining us. We'll catch you next month for another BTS. Adios, guys.